Round 2.
And
We got more turkey chicks.
Cindy just discovered that there was a whole bunch of little guys running around in the tall grass. We had a heck of a time catching them. Especially one of the 2 little white ones.
Then they'd be her, the Narrowset. And the other ones are the bronze, eastern bronze.
Oh. Anyway, there's how many? 8?
8.
8 of them. So, we got another batch. And you say there's another one out there?
I believe I still have another hen out there sitting on eggs. A Narrowset like her, so.
That's the white colored ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she wasn't very happy with us, but it, like I said, it took a little doing. They were tiny and fast. They got into the real tall grass and or bushes. We couldn't catch them, but we finally got them all, I think.
They'll lay right down and you can walk right past them and not see them.
Yeah.
So, see, Miss Kitty, if you guys live closer, you could have some turkeys. These are a heritage brand.
Yeah. Suppose we could box them up and mail them.
No.
No.
Suppose. Maybe if they got a little older like my other ones, but yeah.
Tom's going, let me see them kids. I'll stump them good. And that goose, the neighbor found a goose chick this spring, and he was working on a tractor for about 2 hours, and it kept following him around. No sign of any others anywhere. So he brought that over. He's free to go anytime he wants, but he looks like a goose now, not a little yellow fuzzball.
The Canadian geese, and I'm assuming maybe most geese are like this, imprint really quickly to anything.
Huh.
So he might stay, she might stay, it might stay. It does fly. I've seen it fly across our yard, so it can fly.
He doesn't fly very well. He gets about 3 or 4 feet off the ground and goes 50 feet, but he's learning.
And for about the last week and a half, 2 weeks now, I've been seeing the Canadians, they're back, flying overhead. They're a little early. Usually they come back the second week in August, but they're back.
And he's not the friendliest in the world, but he knows there's grain in here for these little chicks, so. Or he, she, I don't know how you tell on a goose. Both of them all look the same to me, but kind of neat though. Give him a handful. See if he'll eat out of your hand or not. I bet he will.
Come here, Goose Goose. Come on. Come on, Goose Goose.
The duck will.
The ducks are greedy. She's the duck that's sitting on it.
Which one?
That one right there.
The little one?
Yeah.
So this little one, when we were chasing those turkey chicks, this one right there, it was sitting on a nest also. So hopefully we'll get some of these Muscovies. They're kind of neat ducks. They're as big or bigger than the goose. And
I believe they're related more to a goose. They're supposed to taste a lot like beef.
Huh.
They're basically a land duck. They come from South America.
Cindy liked them because they're ugly, like me. They got all that kind of like turkey waddle stuff on their face. But they're kind of neat. I like these ducks. They don't quack. They hiss, which is kind of unnerving when you first hear it. But they're friendly, and we've never eaten any of them or anything. They're just kind of pets, like 99% of these critters are.
Well, usually the turkeys get eaten. But if she hatches out a bunch of eggs, who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, these turkeys here, they're as big as the chickens now, and those were born when? May, June? Something like that. End of May, Cindy says. They're doing pretty well. We only lost a couple of them.
And Lucy took two.
And we gave a couple to a friend too, but yeah, they're doing really well. And these bees, we need to break into them again too, and check on them. Been so busy we haven't had time, and it kind of worries me. But they're doing really well. I went ahead and threw yet another box on top. If nothing else, they'll put honey in there, and hopefully it'll keep them from swarming a little longer. This one that we basically made a split with queen cells and not a queen, they're still coming to it. So hopefully this one will take and we'll end up with 2 beehives. If not, if this one never does end up with a queen, it should have some honey in there, and without a queen they won't survive, but they'll keep going for a while.
Because we're using that for a roost.
Oh. They're cute little fellas.
Everybody's curious.
Well, I don't think they're curious so much as you just fed them. They want in there to eat. She's got quite an assortment. We've got all sorts of different critters. Do you have any of them Japanese ones left anymore?
No, I don't have any. They all died.
She used
got
to.
old and died.
Oh, she used to have. What were they called?
They were a mini chicken. They were actually they weren't from Japan. They were from the Philippines. They were a house chicken, but of course the Japanese had them too. They were about this big. They actually laid a fairly decent sized egg for the size they were, and they were bred small. And believe it or not, they kept them in the house.
Huh.
And somebody had given me a pair because they didn't want them anymore. And I had them for years, and they just finally all died out. They just died of old age.
Yeah, full grown. They're about the size of a pigeon. They were tiny little things, but they
Were
had
really cool.
They had pretty big eggs for what they were.
Yeah, for the size they were, their eggs were huge.
And then we tried, what is the Goliath or something?
The Jersey Giants.
Jersey Giant, yeah.
And they were neat birds, but their egg production was lousy. I didn't really
Whatever
like
happened to them?
They just died of old age. Like the
Oh,
rest of
yeah.
them.
They never got, some of them I've seen are really, really big.
Those are the giants.
But ours never got that big. They were good size for a chicken, but they weren't. Some of them are, I mean, 2 or 3 feet tall.
I looked at the giants, the Goliath ones they called, and there was somebody who does sell the eggs or the chickens, and even buying the eggs was to hatch out were really, really expensive, and I just couldn't justify the cost with a maybe.
No. No, especially since we do have raccoon and coyote problems once in a while. Skunks have been probably the biggest killer of them. But we try to chase them in these cages at night and lock them in where they can't get to them, and that helps, but there's always some that don't come in. None of these ducks, they all hide in somewhere, but they've fared pretty well. We've lost a couple of them, but mostly they do okay. Them big turkeys, a lot of times they'll jump up on top of the cages here and roost. That goose, like I said, it was a wild goose, and so it's kind of on its own. We haven't put it in the cage after it's got grown anyway, and I kind of hope he sticks around, but he can leave if he wants to. And of course this one, it's always standing on that post. It never goes very far at all.
These guys are all sleeping almost. They're all worn out.
Well, not surprising. I mean, we chased them for quite a little bit. Little boogers are hard to catch. So, anyway, back to work. Cindy Lou.
What? Oh, bye. See you later.